Okay, so let me now discuss you regarding our professional ethics term work. So this is the pattern which is already known to you. Let me also tell you what we are going to do today. So we do know that there is a 50-50 component. 50% marks is of Viva. That means 50 marks are for Viva that we are going to take at the end of the semester whenever the whole Viva schedule is there. So we are going to take our Viva there. Uh, just a minute, where do I stay? So it is there. Yeah, so 50 marks for Viva, and as a part of Viva, we'll take your question answer round, and we don't know how, whether it is going to be face to face in class, but still COVID situation is going on. So I'll tell you regarding how we are going to conduct Viva afterwards, whenever we are getting information from the department. But if we discuss regarding term work is also contributing 50 marks in our syllabus. So here, as a part of term work, what is required from your side? So first thing is about case study, and second thing is our presentation. If we talk about the case study here, the case study, you have to, I'll provide some case studies, and you have to select any of the one case out of the given topics, and then you have to write down in detail regarding the particular solution, because after end of the case, there will be few questions, and by reading the whole case, you have to provide your thinking, and you also need to relate your answer with the topics that we discussed previously. And some of the cases are from our previous topics as well. As you notice, we have completed our ethical theories 1, 2, 3, and there are moral development theories as well. So if some of the cases are having requirement that you have to relate with one of the theory, then also you need to provide the understanding regarding that theory as well. So that's how you are going to do a case study. I'll even discuss in detail later on too. The second component is about presentation. So you have to prepare one whole PPT regarding any of the topic. I'll give you choices, and there is a flexibility that whether you want to be in a group or you want to present individually. So it is completely fine for me. And but if you are going to form a group, then you should have to make sure that there should not be more than 4 students in one particular group. Only 4 students can be in that particular group. Okay, now let me discuss about the case studies. So there are a few topics that I selected. So regarding case studies, there are 5 options, and you have to select only one case out of this 5. I'll provide the whole case in your email ID. So I'll send an email, or there is another way as well, that I'll put the cases in your login portal. And so I'll provide the email or login portal so you can refer there. So I'll provide by today or tomorrow. This 5 cases will be there afterwards. And the timeline for this is September 15. So this is our deadline. You are having complete 15 days. This is the 1st September. So till 15 September, you are having time. Last day is 15 September. So only one case you have to select out of all this 5. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Do you have any question, guys? You can definitely tell me. Any difficulty there? Do you have any confusion that how you are going to write or anything? Are you getting it? The first thing that as a part of term work you are required to submit is about case study. You are not requested to write down the whole case. The case will be there. The 5 cases I'll give, and you have to select only one case study. And based on that, there will be few questions afterwards. So you have to justify your answer as well, why you are thinking that this is the appropriate way. So in that way, you are going to first submit the case, and for that deadline is 15 September. And if we talk about the next part, so next part is about your presentation. So these are the topics: ethics, morals, and value that we already discussed as a first session, first module. Then we also discussed regarding moral dilemma, then professionalism, then ethical theories. You are free to choose any of the ethical theories. Then fifth is responsibilities and rights of the professional. So though we are going to discuss regarding responsibilities and rights of a professional uh, by today and tomorrow, by today and the next session as well. So afterwards, you can also prepare the particular presentation on this topic as well. So till now, all four topics, 1, 2, 3, 4, are already discussed. So if you want to make a PPT on the basis of this, you can definitely do it. After making your PPT, your next work is to record yourself. That means at the same time, when your PPT is there, simultaneously, you should have to record yourself as well, where you are explaining some of the points. So here students share their recordings to respective faculty, that means to me through Google Drive. I'll share one Google Drive link with everyone, and you have to put your recording there in that particular Google Drive. So I'll review your presentation, and then I'll also select the markings. So for that as well, you are having 15 September. So till 15 September, you are having total complete 15 days. In that 15 days, you are requested to first provide a solution for any of the case study, and second one is about your presentation topic. Select any of the topic, then start making PPT, then also record yourself. Now, if you are having any doubt, any confusion, you can definitely tell me. We can discuss about this, and then we'll go for our next topic. So is it clear for everyone? Do you find any difficulty there?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, is it required to have a face video in presentation or just a screen recording?
No, face is required there so that I can identify that this is you, right?
Okay. And sir, what about the case study? Like we have to write about in the Word document or in A4 size paper or like that?
In a A4 size paper, so that we can find out differences as well, right? In
Okay.
A4 size paper, you have to write down, and then you are aware about many of the applications that is going to make the A4 size paper written document in the PDF form. So convert that into PDF, and then you have to submit that to me, right?
Okay.
Yeah. What about other people? Are you guys clear with this? This is a major thing, and you should have to focus here more. It is contributing 50%. That means 50 marks are there, and only 50% is there for Viva. So both the components are very much important. Yeah, Pranav is saying clear. Even Tanzil is also saying yes. So make sure that you are going to submit this before 15th or on or before 15th. But after 15th, there is no chance that you are going to submit this, right? So you have to complete both this task, case study solution as well as presentation, recorded one. Okay. And the topics for the presentation, you can definitely note down. These are the 5 topics. You can start your preparation as well. And you can find out the resources as well. If you are finding any kind of difficulty there, you can definitely contact me. And if you are stuck at any of the point, what to add, what not to add, for any kind of guidance, you can definitely contact me. But you should have your original idea there. Okay, so that is the main priority. Is it clear, everyone? Do you find any kind of difficulty? Definitely you can ask me. And after, if there is no difficulty, then we can go for our next discussion. That means our next topic.
Sir, can we increase the number of members in our team?
No, no, only 4. That's the condition. Only
Okay.
4 members should have to be there, not more than 4. Less than 4, it is acceptable. Let's say that you and your only one friend. That means 2 guys are there in one group. That is acceptable, but not more than 4. Clear? Any other doubt? Any other confusion? Forum is definitely open. You can discuss here with me. Then we'll go for our next discussion. So, I hope it is clear for everyone. Anjali, there are many people. I'm not going to speak everybody's name, but I'm assuming that you are listening me carefully and you are clear with this, right? So consider this as the deadline for the term. You are having complete free 15 days. Now, let me take you to our next topic. Okay, so now I think the screen is visible to you. It is about to start. Yeah. Okay, so our next topic is responsibilities and rights of professional. Um, there are many rights which are given by our constitution, which are given by our society as well to us. And at the same time, some of the responsibilities are also there. So we are going to check this important aspect while working in the particular organization. What kind of rights as an employee you are having? What kind of action you can take if your rights are violated by any of the people? Then what could be the thing as well? And to understand that in a deep, I selected two case studies, some hypothetical case study. So this is kind of activity that we are going to start with. So first, we'll start with case number 1. I'll give you some time to read. You have to read the whole case, and afterwards, we'll go for a few questions. And then after clearing that case, we'll go for case study 2. You will find out few paragraphs there, few situation there, and you have to read there. And afterwards, we'll go for again question answer for case study 2. Then we will discuss that what are the things which are there in our Indian law and which a person can consider if some of the rights are violated. So let's go for case study number 1. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll give you a few minutes to read this whole case, and whenever you are ready, we'll go for our discussion. That means we'll go for our question answer. It is just a small case. Only 2 paragraphs are there. First read completely, then we'll go for our question answer. Yeah, guys, done? Or still 1 or 2 minutes I'll give, and then we'll go for questions. Understand what is happening here in the case. You might get confused between 2 names. So clear. make sure that you are having clear idea. The whole case is related to JR, who is vice president. Okay, guys, done. Uh, Still, you are ready. You can definitely tell me in the chat if you are done. Then we'll go for our questions. Yeah, Anjali is saying yes, done. Ritesh also completed. Yeah, what about other people? Are you still ready or completed? Yeah, Divyansh, Shivanand, Harshad, Bhavya, they are also saying that. Okay, so I'm assuming that this is the majority and all of you completed reading this. Now let's go for one by one question. So there are a few questions. One by one we'll see. The first question is that since JR was over the purchasing department and it had the final decision authority, should purchasing have done through the normal bidding routine? We have seen that he was not following normal routine. That means a bidding process is required to go for any of the purchase. But there he haven't done that. So he is having complete rights to do that. So here the first question is that the final decision is obviously JR is going to take as he is the vice president, he is the VP. So do you think that should the purchasing have done through the normal bidding routine as well? Even though JR is going to look at this aspect, but we have seen that there was a there was other side on his son that if he's going to make a contract with that company, then son is going to get benefit from it. So even though being VP of any of the company, so a supreme authority, do you think that one should have to follow a normal procedure? What is your thinking, guys? Or whatever JR did was the correct thing? What do you consider? Even you can look at the other questions as well. It is saying that is it acceptable for a VP to bypass the normal routine to do the business with a family member? What do you think? It is ethical or not? So provide me your response here. Let's discuss your understanding as well. Yeah, Ritesh is saying non-ethical. Okay. So I'm assuming that all the other people are saying that it is ethical because only Ritesh is saying non-ethical. Others are thinking or whether they are not supporting this idea. I don't know. So do you think, guys, that this is an ethical thing? There are many questions as well. You can check that. Was JR's decision not to request bids an ethical choice? Tell me the answer for question number three, third question. Do you think that that's the ethical way which JR did as a VP? They took the decision that we are not going to follow normal procedure and let's buy only from my son's company, Italy Computer. That's the name. So provide me your idea. What do you think? What JR did was right? Was it ethical? Should I ask a particular person and then a person is going to reply or what? So let me ask few people. Bhavya, Aziz, Chintan, Chirag, what do you think, guys? what JR did here. I hope you read the whole case there. Provide me your viewpoint. What do you consider? And also consider that if you are VP, if you are JR, and your own son is working in one of the company, and you are about to make a purchase, but as you already know that your son is working in the same type of company from which you are going to buy a product. So rather than following a normal procedure, you are simply going for that companies only. See, we are many times talking about nepotism in the industry. In many of the industry, nepotism is happening. This is also one of the case where nepotism is observed. Don't you think it? Don't you think that this is also a form of nepotism, where a person is given uh, favoritism or giving favoritism for a particular person or particular contract? So here the biasness is there. We are many times talking that in Bollywood industry, many of the nepotism thing is happening. But what about the corporate nepotism as well? This is the part of it. Though JR is having complete freedom, like we have seen in the case as well, he is promoted as VP and he is having all the rights. But by looking at all the questions, and even at the end also, it was specified that some of the local vendor of Italy, we oppose this. Why? Because the direct sale was made. Even the case is saying that there is another bidder, IBM clones, and they can provide the same thing in $2,000 only, but this Italy counter they charge $3,500 each for all the equipment, and there is requirement of 4 to 5. So it is also a big contract that Italy got, and we have seen that even by getting this contract, Jim also got a healthy commission. This is also one form of corporate nepotism, right? Though VP is having complete freedom to make changes in any of the company's policy, and that's why many of the questions are also there that should anyone else at CCVP, CCVP stands from Cripple Creek Vocational University, where JR is working. So, should anyone else at CCVP have any interest in this activity? What do you think? Can they oppose JR's action that he changed the company's regular procedure and then he gave contract to the company where his son is working? So there a bias action is taken. But as we have noticed in the case, nothing regarding that is mentioned. So should we assume that it is acceptable procedure in the corporate world? A person who is having authority to make any kind of decision can even change some of the routine procedure and can do it. He is having complete rights. And similarly, my important question to all of you is that do you observe that here the violation of using particular rights is observed? This is right. If JR wanted to make ethical procedure, what he should have to do is he should have to invite his son's company as well for the bidding process. Then, if he finds that everybody is there on the fair ground, then he can choose for the uh, bid which is attractive and looking at the company's perspective. But he is actually not thinking about it, and that's why his son got the bonus. And even though the computers were uh, put it on very high price, so this is the thing which is very common in many of the corporate world as well. This kind of corporate nepotism is also happening, and sometimes some of the people are misusing their rights. Though JR is having his own rights to modify any of the things, which he did as well. But there is definitely he is not following ethical way. So definitely Ritesh is right. Now we'll go for case study number 2. First, read the whole case, and then we are going to discuss about the questions. I'll ask a few questions on the basis of this. So I'll give you time, complete your reading, and then we'll go for questions. After you finish your reading, you can tell me here in chat box, and then we'll go for questions. Okay, so many people completed. Ritesh, Rahil, Palak, Aziz, Anjali, and Nancy. They completed. So now, guys, you are replying here that you completed. Also participate in the questions so that we can get the idea. This is kind of practice which can help you for your homework too. So let's go for questions as well. Yeah, Madhavan also completed. Now let's go for it further. So let's see questions. Yeah, first question. Should Marian quit? We have seen the situation in the case. Based on that, do you think that she should have to quit? Let's learn your answer one by one. Rahil, then Aziz, many people are replying here. So let me read. Rahil, Aziz, Anjali, Ritesh, Palak, Madhwan, Divyansh. They are saying no. So then let's go for second question. Are her co-worker correct in their evaluation? What do you think? For the second, Rahil is saying no. Madhwan is also saying no. Yeah, Palak, Ritesh, Nancy, Divyansh. Many of the people are quickly replying. So if I forgot to read your name, don't worry, you are there. Shyam, Raj, Anjali, Yash, Vishnu, Tanzil. All of them are saying no. Okay, so even my additional question to your second answer is why? The question was, are her co-worker correct in their evaluation? And you replied no. So tell me reason. Why do you think that they are not correct there in evaluating her performance there? What made you to think about this? Are you personally knowing Marian? No. Some of the things are there in the case. So what made you to think that they are not correct? Rahil is saying there should be equality. Ritesh is saying that because they are evaluating her qualifications, okay, not work ethics, okay. That's nice answer. Yeah, what other thing you can relate? Why do you think that their evaluation is not the correct one? If we check the case once again, so you must have noticed that Marian, who is a top graduate from Loyola, so there is no definitely question on her own qualification regarding education qualification. And she even did a very good thing. She performed well, and we have seen the next line is saying that Marian finished the corporation's management training program top in her group. That means she completed with very good rank, good marks, and is performing above the norms in her position. She is really enjoying her work too. So that was a thing which can definitely relate here. Rahel is saying that they are evaluating her for being female. Yes, that's the main point. Just because the second paragraph is saying that Mariam is the only lady in the group. There are only few ladies, female workers are there, and majority of the people are male, and that's why they are making the argument. Then the third question is this: should Mariam confront the co-workers? What do you suggest? Do you think that this is the correct solution? By confronting them that what you are speaking about me, tell me likewise. And then you can also discuss that. What's your point there? Ritesh is saying that no, this will make things worse. Okay. Yeah. What about other people? Even female can also participate. Girls do participate. This is about women. So even we want your viewpoint as well. Your viewpoint is also a bigger aspect that we are thinking. So Ritesh answer is this. What about other people? What other girls are thinking? Kyle is saying that yes, she can confront them. Okay. So there are females. Anjali, what do you think? There are many. Palak. Yeah. Okay, so guys, I also need your opinion. Anjali is saying no. Nancy is saying yes, she should confront them. Aziz is saying yes. Okay. So we are getting mixed responses. Some people are saying that no, we should not have to do it. Otherwise, it can lead to other problem. While many of the people are saying that yes, she should confront them. Okay. Then let's go for next question. It is saying that should Mariam go to the supervisor about this incident? What do you suggest? Ritesh is saying yes. Guys, provide your opinion. Do you think that this is the right move that Mariam can contact one of his supervisor and tell that this is the thing which is happening here with me? Tanzil is saying yes too. Nancy is saying no. Okay. Aziz is saying yes. Nilesh is also saying yes. What about other people? Nancy, only your answer is different, so that's why I'm asking you. Why you think that no, she should not have to go for it? Riley is saying that she should go to her supervisor if that person supports her. Okay. Yeah, there is definitely a chance that sometimes people may not support to you as well. They may say that you are wrong here. No such thing is happening there. This is just your thoughts. Likewise, it should be there as well. And even the next question is very much important. What else could Marian do? We have seen two solutions, either to confront them or either to go to supervisor. Or what could be the other solution? What do you think that other solution can be possible there? Do you think that there is another way as well, which Marian can do it? So guys, give me your reply. Think, what else? Two solutions I have already provided here in the form of questions. But if you think that there is another possibility as well, this is also another way, then you can definitely suggest here in the chat box, and we would like to know your opinion too. Okay. Even especially girls should have to tell us here their reply as well. Yeah, boys are going to speak, but I also need girls to speak. Riley is saying that she should raise her voice. Okay, Ritesh is saying that she should work on her personality and keep her good work on so that her seniors start backing her. Okay, so uh, Ritesh answer is very much practical, where his thinking is that first let's avoid this incident, and then let's just focus on our work. If your work is liked by your seniors, and then definitely you can gain more support. Otherwise, if you are just new, if you just started in the organization, there is a less chance that people are going to back you. They are going to support you here. So that's also aspect there. Now, anything else? Any other solution or not? Otherwise, we can go for our next discussion. Now, let's go for our next discussion. Still, you guys can think this, because this is kind of reality which will be which are part of many of the corporate lives as well. Right now also many of the things are happening, and that's why to make this kind of case study here as a part of our understanding is very much important. Now let's discuss about the next part, that is whistleblower. This is a concept, it is also a reality as well. Many of the corporate worlds are nowadays having whistleblower as a concept. Whistleblower is kind of person who is actually looking after the ethical part of fair practice in the organization. If unfair thing is happening, then this is the job of whistleblower, who can raise a voice and who can even go for the justice. There are many parts of whistleblower, and we are going to discuss about all the parts in our next session as well. But here, for now, if I'll give you idea regarding whistleblower, then if some unfair thing is happening, then you can definitely contact whistleblower. If you are aware that whistleblower is there in the company, then we can definitely find a justifiable solution for that. Here, if we discuss regarding Edward Snowden, if you even Google regarding Edward Snowden, he was kind of whistleblower, American whistleblower, and you will get many of the information regarding him. He was working in many of the secret agencies, CIA earlier, and he afterwards revealed many of the documents, secret documents, for the public interest. So he played a role of a big whistleblower there, and many of the informations are going to make you shocked. You can definitely read about Edward Snowden later on after we finish this session. So this is the one thing that person can do. Like we have seen the Marian case, then Marian can approach whistleblower if it is there in the company. So that's the one aspect. If we look at the other aspect, then there is Vishakha guidelines. Vishakha guidelines is also very much popular. This is about Indian context. This Vishakha guideline is providing many of the points which can help a female employee. So it is majoritarily focusing on women. It is saying that all the workplace should have an appropriate complaints mechanism with the complaints committee, special counselor, or other. So this is about our Indian culture, Indian corporate world, and Vishakha guideline is very popular. Later on, this Vishakha guideline, it started when there was one case in Rajasthan in 1997. Afterwards, because of that case, this Vishakha guidelines were provided by Supreme Court, and later on in 2013, the whole act was made. Before Vishakha guideline, because before this incident, there was no such law system, and if a female is finding any kind of trouble, they are finding any kind of discrimination or harassment, they can previously also visit the police department, but there was no particular law system on the basis of which one can file a complaint and can take the justice. But after the incident which took place in Rajasthan, this Vishakha guideline were provided, and it was made as a public interest by the Supreme Court, and they made a few points which corporate houses should have to follow. So first point is about this, that companies should have to make a complaint mechanism. That means if any of the employees are finding any kind of problem, then they can definitely complain there, and there should be a particular committee which should have to look after all the complaints which are received by this complaint mechanism. Whether they are going to consider writing complaint or email, electronic, that is depends on the company, but they should have to have a particular mechanism for the complaint. So that's the one point. Second is a woman must head the complaints committee, and no else than half its members should be women. So when a company is going to form a complaint committee, then this is the points that they should have to consider. That they should have to consider that there should not be less than half. That means more than 50% members should have to be women, because that's for their more interest. Then next point is saying that a committee should include an NGO individual familiar with the issue of sexual harassment too. So they should have to have a person from NGO or some people who are working regarding rights about women and sexual harassment cases. Next is the complaints procedure must be time bound. That is also an important aspect. We have seen that our legal system is taking a longer period of time, but Vishakha guideline is suggesting that this should have to give more priority, and it should have to be a time bound. There should be some time limit that the company should have to follow. It should not be like more than 1 or 2 years are gone and still the solution is not provided. There should be a time bound procedure, and that time also should have to be specified to the person who is making complaint, so that they can get the idea that this many days will be taken for any kind of justice for me. Then next is confidentiality must be maintained. The committee member should not have to review that we received a complaint from this particular employee. As many times it is seen that if it is made publicly, if it is announced that a particular person is making a complaint, then there are chances that some unfair practices do happen with them. So to avoid that, a committee and even the procedure should have to have a confidentiality on the priority. Even while receiving the complaint, they should have to consider that they are receiving the complaint without it is going to affect anybody's idea. So that all the people should not have to get notice that this is the complaint filed by this person. So their confidentiality is the more important factor. Then next is saying that compliance or witnesses should not experience victimization or discrimination during the process. If some female employee or even many times even male are also facing trouble. So if the witness or complainant is already filed the complaint, so for their safety, they should not have to. Committee should have to make sure that they are not going to get any victimization process or discrimination because of their complaint during the process. So that's the main priority. Later on, it also became act. So yeah, this is about the law that is now. So as I told you, after this Vishakha guideline, before that there was no particular law, but this Vishakha guideline made particular law. So this is about the law which is helping female employee who are working in any of the corporate world. So it is saying that the sexual harassment of women at workplace, prevention, prohibition, and Redressal Act 2019. This is about our Indian law. So, is meant to address grievances of women across all the formal and informal employment, including clients, customers, domestic workers. It is not like only women who are working in the company are going to get the justice. Those who are even client customers, those who are working in the formal setup or informal setup, those who are domestic workers, contract employees, that means sometimes many of the people are working on the temporary basis. So that is contract employees. Then volunteers, even uh, probationers, trainees. Probationers is a term used for people who just recently joined a company and they are not given permanent job. That means many of the companies are having this funda that if a new employee is joining, they are keeping 1 year probation period. And there they are not considered as a full-time employee, but probationer are also considered here as a part of this act. And further, interns and applies to all the workplaces, including non-traditional setup too. Now, what are the remedies? If we check one by one, it is saying that a woman who has experienced harassment can directly launch a complaint with the police. That's the first thing. Second, it is mandatory for the police to register an FIR without any delay. The third is compliance statement is always recorded by a woman officer or in the presence of a woman police. That is also third aspect. And the fourth one is if the police corps finds the compliance employer's internal committee did not do its job, the company management and the panel members are liable to face penal action too. Uh, as we have discussed regarding Vishakha guideline, that company should have to focus, they should have to form a committee. Let's say that the company is having their own committee too. So they are going to check all the facts and figures, and they are also going to check the evidence as well. And even after completing their procedure, if the compliant is still not happy, still not satisfied, and they find that this is not a justice, so definitely they can complain even against the committee, whole committee, those who are looking after that, and even against the company as well. So these are the things which are now in our Indian law after 2013, as this law is now working against the women's safety, those who are working in the any kind of formal or informal setup of the organization. So guys, these are the things that we discussed regarding our topic, rights and responsibility. Now, in next session, we are going to go in a deeper, and as I told you, we are also going to see concept of whistleblower and other aspect as well. So now this is the time for your attendance. So what I'll do is I'll share one Google Form link in your chat box, and then you can mark your attendance there in Google Form. Okay, so now I'm going to paste the Google Form link. It's there in your chat box. You are requested to mark your attendance there in Google Form. It is activated. It is working fine. Still, if you are facing any kind of trouble, you can definitely tell me. I'm still here. Yeah, after marking your attendance, you are free from my side. You can definitely leave this meeting afterwards. I will disable the link after 4 or 5 minutes. So make sure that you mark your attendance there, and you won't lose your attendance. So guys, now I'm going to end this meeting. I hope you mark your attendance. Still, let me ask those who are here. Chintan, Darshan, Darshit, Krishna, Nilesh, Prince, Ritesh, are you done with the attendance? If yes, then definitely you are free. You can leave this meeting. Yeah, done. Okay. So have a great day, and we'll meet for our next session next week.